So the next thing that we need to do is we already kind of started playing around with the solar with the sun path diagram. But instead of going down the sun path, we'll wait on the sun path, and we're going to try something different. So what we're looking for is a way to visualize data. So again, under Ladybug, there's a tab number 2. There's 0, 1, and 2. Visualize weather data. And what you're looking for is the very first item is called a 3D chart. So Ladybug underscore 3D chart. And we're going to drop that. On your chart. So make sure you guys find that, okay? Right. So what I want you guys to understand is that this thing here is just a generic 3D chart. It'll chart any data that you give it. So if you had, the birthdays of all of your ancestors in the right format, this thing would give you a chart for it, okay? So we're not interested in that. So we're interested in looking at different sorts of things. And so if you look at the things that are available in here, there's wind speed, drybulb temperature, dew point. There's a number of different things, correct? And what we want to do is let's start with a real simple one. Let's start with drybulb temperature. So we're going to take drybulb temperature and put it into import data. So you may have to zoom out in your Rhino screen, but you should end up with something that looks like that, okay? And it is a three-dimensional object. Okay? Now, before we start talking about what it is, what it is we're looking at, you guys already know that it's drybulb temperatures. All right, let's take a look at some things that might control it. So you've got a scale on one side, so we'll take a closer look at the thing before we get moving. So we've got a scale right here, right? And notice that it's in degrees Celsius. Now, you and I, more than likely, since we're not Europeans and from other parts of the world, do not want Celsius, right? So we have to find the converter. There's a converter that allows us to convert it. Now, what is going across the bottom here? So let's zoom in. Okay, so that's the months of the year. So there must be 12 months of the year, and these things are temperatures. That's the vertical scale. So if you wanted to, you could put this thing into top view, and it's going to give you the same information but in a two-dimensional format. Likewise, you could do it in the front view, and it's going to do the same thing. Okay, so this one is giving you a three-dimensional version. These are basically two-dimensional versions, but sometimes it helps to sort of understand them here. Okay, so anyway, the next thing that I want to do is we'll take a look at some controls. All right, I find that this is far too long for what I need to look at it for, and so one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to adjust the scale of that thing with a number slider. Okay, so I'm going to pan this thing over. And what we're doing is we're taking the data that came into import EPW, and we're sending it into a 3D chart. And it's got an X, a Y, and a Z scale. Okay? So you can make adjustments to any of those things just by putting a number slider on it. So let's drop a number slider. Okay? And the number slider that I'm going to drop in here, I'm going to make it to where it can take something from, say, 0.0 to 2.0, okay? So back to my, I lost my cursor. There it is. Oh, that's a point. What am I doing? Actually, I'm going to go 1.0. Alright, so there's my number slider. I'm going to move it over so that I immediately get a result. And I'm going to feed that into the X scale. And you can see what occurred. It shrunk up quite a bit. And it's made the thing so it's a little bit more legible and a little bit more manageable. Okay? You can squeeze it down to a quarter if you want, or half. So I'm going to try 0.4. So it's a little less than half. Okay? And so there's the object right there. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys give that a try. And I'll pause this.